Hello dear traders, welcome to the weekly review of Trading Hero 20K strategy. My name is Oleg, I'm the author of the strategy, so let's start from the MyFxBook page. As you can see, we are very close to 600% of the total profitability since January 2019, and this week we made 0.1% in conservative mode, 0.2% in moderate, and 0.3% in aggressive. This month the performance is 1.1 in conservative, 2.2 in moderate and 3.3 in aggressive, and the performance since the beginning of the year is 14% in conservative, 28% in moderate and 42% in aggressive. Let's switch to the MetaTrader and check all the trades in the details. And we start as usual from the first currency pair. This is Aussie CAD. We are on an hourly time frame where each vertical line separates one trading day, and with the gray rectangle I highlighted the trading area of the current week. As you can see, we spent this week in a downward movement. We opened 6 buy trades, and so far we have no closed buying trades. That's why we are waiting for the market to go up. Also, we had a couple of trades from the previous week, and these trades were successfully closed on the market correction. Now we are waiting for the upward market movement. On the daily time frame, we can see that Aussie CAD is in a consolidation. So I think that there is a probability for the market to retest the previous support level, maybe even go beyond this level and then correct upwards, which will give us an opportunity to add extra positions and then close them on the subsequent market correction. The next currency pair is Aussie NZD, and here, as you can see, we spent this week in a consolidation. We updated the previous local highs, but I cannot see a clear uptrend here. I can see that we were just consolidating in a narrow range with a couple of attempts to break through these ranges. We closed 2 chains of trades that we were holding from the previous week. One chain was closed at the break-even, the next chain brought us $14. As for the daily time frame, we can see that Aussie NZD is also in a consolidation, but this consolidation is a part of a bigger uptrend. So the probability of the further market growth is higher if we check the current picture. But if we switch to the monthly time frame, we can see that we are very high. We actually have the highest price since 2012, so that means that market is really overheated and we can get a rapid correction. So far we have no open trades, so that's why any of these scenarios is okay for us. Then Aussie USD, here you can see that the market continued its decline and we closed a chain of 7 trades with one of the algorithms. Yeah, unfortunately it was closed with small loss. Sometimes it happens due to the trade execution, slippage, swaps that we pay, and sometimes even the pattern of the chain may lead to the closure close to the break-even point. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes we have these situations. In parallel, we have a chain of 4 trades with the second algorithm, and we wait for the further market movement. On the daily time frame, you can see that Aussie USD, let's switch to the daily, this is the monthly, here we are, is very close to the previous support level. So from my point of view, we have a very big probability of the further market decline and then rejection from the support level. So it means that I think that we'll need maybe 1 or 2 more trades to average this chain, then get a correction and close all the trades with a profit. The next pair is Euro GBP, and here you can see that actually we spent this week in a consolidation. We moved towards the previous support level. You can see that we broke it, but we didn't spend much time here. So actually this is the picture on an hourly time frame, but if we speak about the daily time frame, we can clearly see that the price is pushed towards this support level. So the global scenario is the further market decline. As for the trades we had this week, there were a couple of trades. First of all, we closed a sell trade from the previous week on this market decline, and then we gained 1 position on the first algorithm and then opened the first position on the second algorithm. So now we wait for the further price move. If we go higher, we're gonna close this trade with a profit, and for this trade we'll need to wait for the price to retest the previous local high. If we continue consolidating or go down, according to the global scenario, we're gonna be averaging these trades with additional orders. The next currency pair is GBP/USD, and here you can see that we also updated the previous local lows, but then we shifted into the consolidation, so we had a couple of buy trades that we closed with a profit this week, and no open trades we have on this currency pair so far. On the daily time frame, you can see that we reached the previous support level. I cannot say that we broke it or we started rejecting from this level. We are consolidating near this level, so that's why the probability of further market movement in both directions is more or less the same from my point of view. The next currency pair is GBP/CAD, and here you can see that the downward movement continues. We are moving very slowly. I can say that it more looks like a consolidation, but still you can see that this currency pair goes down. We didn't have any new trades. We have only one sell trade from the previous week, and we wait for the market correction. As for the daily time frame, you can see that here we have this consolidation, and here is the resistance level from which we started to move downwards, but still the global uptrend trend line is still valid, so it means that we cannot disregard the upward movement scenario at all. The next currency pair is USD/CAD, and here we open the last trade in this sequence of trades, because this algorithm uses maximum 8 trades, and now we have to wait for the market movement. Actually, I was expecting for the price to reject from the beginning of the week, but occasionally we moved upwards, but I can see that the attempt to break through new local highs was not successful, and we got a strong rejection on Thursday, and after we shifted to the consolidation phase. So I think that the probability of further market decline is quite high. But once again, on the daily time frame, we have a strong uptrend. I wouldn't even call it as an uptrend because there is no clear wave structure. It's more like an impulse. Here we are just pushed towards this level with almost no corrections. And to be honest, this movement of around 700 pips is quite big for this currency pair, and you can see it on the weekly time frame that sometimes we do have this kind of movements, but they have a volatility patterns inside, so we're able to close the trades within these movements. But this time we are moving slowly but steady. So I think that the first scenario is obviously that we're gonna reject from this level, although we broke it, but we're gonna shift into a consolidation phase and then go down. Or if we switch to the daily time frame, we can see that we have a very strong resistance level ahead, the level where we were consolidating for several months in 2025. And I think that there is a very big probability that we're gonna reject from these levels. Anyway, we don't have any additional trades to average this position, so the only scenario we have is to wait for the price decline. And the last currency pair is NZD/CAD, and here you can see we were also declining this week, very similar to the Aussie/CAD currency pair. And you can see that we have two algorithms. The selling algorithm is making its small trades and selling, closing them with small profits. And the buy algorithm is gaining positions against this market movement. And currently we have a bunch of 4 buying trades and also 1 sell trade. As for the daily time frame, we can see that we are moving somewhere in the middle of this corridor. So it's very hard to say that we're going to reject from this support level or not. I think that this level can be considered as a more sustainable support level. So if we continue this downward movement, we need to expect for the rejection from this level. But here we still have the space to average the trades, the buy trades that we have, and also to make some profits on the sell trades. So summarizing overall picture, I can say that this week was not very fruitful for us. Actually, first of all, we were gaining positions on USD/CAD, but when they will be closed, I think we're going to get very good profit because we have the maximum number of trades here. As for the other currency pairs, the volatility was not very big, so that's why we didn't gain a lot of positions and the profits were really small. But on the other hand, we don't have a big drawdown, and the volatility on these currency pairs actually didn't bring much stress in terms of expectations for some market movements. So the main focus for the next week is USD/CAD. We'll be tracking the situation. If you have not opened these trades yet, it is a very good opportunity to join this movement and sell on the best prices that we have this year. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your managers in our Telegram support bot, and I'll be glad to see you on the next weekly review and share the details on our strategy performance. So thank you for your attention and see you soon.